lot of the time we forget, ladies and gentlemen, there is a huge difference between a person and a person's behavior. A lot of the time we judge the two to be the same, and they're not. Therefore, the grace of God go I. Life is a subjective experience. You can try to argue that, but even your argument is a subjective argument. If you go to the Supreme Court in the US, how many judges in the Supreme Court? Is it 7? 9. Now they all want a job, don't they? Right? 9 judges. How many times in the Supreme Court is a decision unanimous with all 9? Rarely. Which means you have the highest court in the US, you have the highest level of judges, the law is written in black and white, and they still can't frickin' agree. Right? You tell me life's objective? No, life is subjective. It's how you interpret it. The reality most people seem to forget is that the vast majority of your life is lived in one particular place, inside your own mind. And if that's where you live, why wouldn't you want to make it a nice place to live? So if you go home right now, you've got a nice home. You've actually spent money on decorating your home how you would like it, correct? You put thought into that. You put time and effort. And when you walk in, you don't say, oh, that freaking vase again. Freaking winds me up every time I look at that damn box. No, what do? You throw out the vase and you buy one you like. You decorate your home how you want to feel when you walk in. Why don't you do that with your real home? Oh, no, I'm going to put a whole load of anxiety on the mantelpiece here. Yep, I'm going to put some dark thoughts over here. I'm going to put some judgment up here. And I'm going to sit back and you know something? Yeah, that'll do it. I'm miserable as hell. Right? It sounds silly when you frame it that way, but tell me how that is, right? It's the way it is for most people. And you know what? I don't want to redecorate. I'm just going to distract myself. Prozac, please. Thank you very much. Yep, that'll do. Oh, now I don't feel as bad about my crappy decoration. Or you see people that work their ass off so hard, covering up insecurities, moving forward. My former business partner, I had a huge amount of respect for at the business level. Errol passed away 2 years ago. And I hate to say it, unsurprising. Guy had huge health issues, massively overweight, could hardly walk 200 yards. Multi-billionaire. Known Errol 15 years, never known him earn less than about $1 million a day. Right? Miserable, angry, unhappy. And I can see the pattern. The pattern was predictable. He grew up as a kid with dysfunctional parents. Hey, who didn't? But he got out to Newport Beach and he was a surfer and he lived in a shack. But as a kid in Newport Beach, he got put into the Newport Beach school. And everyone knows Newport Beach. It's not a poor area. So most of the kids in his class had Porsches and Audis in the parking lot when they were 17 years old. He had a surfboard and a shack on the beach. So what do you think happened to him? How much significance do you think he felt? Where he was serving as a waiter in the restaurants where they were ordering lobster. And they got to sit next to each other in class. You can understand the pattern, right? So how does he get his significance? Well, he found 2 ways to do it. One was to get so rich that he would never be in that position again. The other way was to be able to get physically strong and beat people up and win fights and become a black belt. He actually got 2 black belts, and his instructor stopped teaching him because he wanted to use it to be able to beat other people, not because he was just a nasty person, because how he expressed himself to restore significance was one way that he could finally feel good about himself. It's an adaptation, not who he is. And a lot of the time we forget, ladies and gentlemen, there is a huge difference between a person and a person's behavior. A lot of the time we judge the two to be the same, and they're not. Therefore, the grace of God go I. So Errol himself mastered the art of business, but wasn't really a nice guy when it came to who you'd want to emulate. And as a result, got to the top of Success Mountain and became the richest man in the graveyard. Not a place I want to go, yeah, unfortunately. So, the context around that is, why are we doing what we're doing? What are we trying to really get here? What are the patterns that are running? How can we get rid of a lot of that BS, shift the context, and be able to have a life that we want now, and then we're free to go enjoy collecting toys along the way? But for Errol, all I could see him do was make enough money to buy enough decorations to make his prison look nicer. How many of us are doing the same? Some of you are chasing enough money to put more decorations in your prison. It's far easier to unlock the door and walk out.